The forefront of scientific and technological progress, Academy City was most famous for its espers, among of which, the strongest one was a level 5 esper by the name of Accelerator. After failing in a battle to reach level 6, the god level, Accelerator was seriously injured and suffers from brain damage. Now he is being treated in a hospital, but the Academy City's villains are always on his tail. A group of criminals attack the hospital with an aim to get Accelerator's DNA sample. The city's security association, Anti-Skill, will come intensely present at the hospital to halt the criminals. However, their equipment was useless against the criminals' cutting-edge equipment. Not only are they equipped with high-class bulletproof armor, but they also have in their possession liquid nitrogen cutters that can cut through anything. During the fight, the commander of the Anti-Skill unit figures out the Achilles heel of the criminal group. But before she could do anything, suddenly she couldn't breathe. She knelt on the ground gasping for air before being punched away. This happened due to one of the 3 criminals' supernatural ability. It looks like the Anti-Skill unit was on the edge, but at that very moment the wall next to the criminals burst open, catching one of them into debris. It's our main character, Accelerator, who has shown up to beat the ones that were interrupting his nap. His ability is to control all kinds of directions, momentum, heat, and electrical energy. In short, his ability is to control the vector of anything. Quite an overpower ability. But because he had to protect a girl that he knew from the ceiling falling on them, the criminals successfully got Accelerator's DNA sample and ran away. Accelerator doesn't care about the fact that his genetic sample was stolen by such criminals. But what made him angry was that they also took the cookie box that the last order made for him, the lolly girl that he swore to protect at all costs. After being driven to the criminals' underground hideout, a fight immediately takes place beneath the city's tunnels, making the bad guys panic and wonder how a normal human can be this strong. If they hadn't touched the lolly's girl's cookie box in the first place, their planning would have been successful. The moment Accelerator got raged, everything was over. All because of a cookie box. DA is an acronym for a highly capable and technological organization created to support the city's anti-skill. However, all the members of DA are sickly, just as crazed, and now they're targeting the last order, of whom Accelerator would do anything to protect. One night, while Accelerator was in his room reading manga, suddenly a cloaked girl came running into his room and asked for his help. But Accelerator acts as if he doesn't hear or see anything, until the girl was subdued and escorted out by an anti-skill unit. He felt that something was odd. Accelerated realizes that they're not from any anti-skill unit, as they stupidly obeyed orders. Anti-skilled members would never point a gun at an unarmed civilian. At this point, Accelerator came to confront these shady individuals, and within questioning their true motives, they finally revealed themselves as the members of the DA, the Justice Hounds of the Academy City, for Accelerator's sake. This was his final warning. Get out or die. But they would never expect that the one standing in front of them was a legendary figure, the Academy's strongest level 5 criminal, Accelerator. After destroying one of the trucks, he smushed and says, "If you consider yourself the hero of justice, try to slay the demons standing in front of you." The DA uses their ace, unleashing all of its limits. But Accelerated simply stands still. His smile terrifies the DA agents. It's time to crush everything. Accelerate easily defeats the robot with just a touch. He was about to deal with the DA agents when from within its core drops out a corpse of a young girl. This causes Accelerator to remember some bad memories, so he froze for a few seconds. Later, the real anti-skill camp test sets the situation and concluded that a forbidden magic was used, necromancy. 3 days ago, the first-year high schooler Hazami committed suicide by jumping into a river. And the DA used necromancy to keep her brain functioning and placing her inside a robot, turning her into a level 4 esper that the DA can use for their twisted justice. Seeing them using the forbidden necromancy really triggers Accelerator. When he returned to his room, he was met by the girl from earlier. She introduces herself as Esther. She is a necromancer from the Rosenthal family. The DA captured her long ago and forced her to teach them how to use necromancy, which she regrets doing because it could mean the end of the world. So Esther wants to atone for her mistake by asking Accelerator for his help, even though he threatened to rip her to shreds. Acknowledging her resolve, Accelerator agrees to help Esther. They then travel to where Esther was kept before, hoping to find some clues. But what they found was a new robot of the creator of the magic-using robots, Hishigata. Unfortunately, the robot retreated before Accelerator destroyed it. Later, Accelerator and Last Order got to know Esther better, but then Esther was informed about Hazemi that she had already died and the doctors couldn't do anything. She didn't explain this to Accelerator about her abilities. While trying to set Asomi's soul free, Esther has to use a high-level magic skill called Hoto to create an artificial soul. But before she could finish, 2 DA members came into the room and wanted to get rid of the corpse. But unfortunately Hoto was activated. It takes over Hashmi's body and his arms one of the DA agents. The other one starts panicking. He points his gun at Hoto and manages to shoot. However, Accelerator came to block the bullets. He smiles and says, "You know, a real monster should be like this." Accelerator proceeds to subdue the DA agent painfully. He then turned his sights to the other agent when Accelerator's stitches came loose, causing him to lose consciousness, allowing the other agent to escape. Elsewhere, the superiors that look over the DEA organization sees that it has caused more trouble than it's worth, so they plan to deal with this pest. The leader of the organization gives out the order to activate the scavengers. This team of 4 young teenagers immediately caused an explosion at a District 3 warehouse, which was a DA base. It's no exaggeration to call these 4 teenagers the weapons of destruction. There are enough to send the entire world into chaos. Thanks to Scavenger's leader, they have found the last base of the DA. At this moment, Anti-Skill have also figured out where DA's base, and they came to extinguish this terrorist-like organization. Anti-Skill looked like they had the upper hand, until the DA forces uses a robot spire to retaliate. But then the Scavengers also came to join the fight. After taking care of their robot spider, the Scavengers then searched for a girl that was kidnapped by the DA. This was when they see Esther and Hoto protecting the unconscious girl. The Scavengers gave the 2 girls a warning if they leave the bag that contained the unconscious girl, and walked away. Then they would spare their lives. But of course Esther rejects their offer. One of the 4 Scavengers, Neru, then jumps down to confront the 3 girls. She activates her ability, the ability to manipulate paper, creating a giant teddy bear armor. Meanwhile at the hospital, Accelerator has fully recovered and is on his way to rescue Esther and the unconscious girl. The leader of the anti-skill units tries to block Nader's attack, but got sent flying when Nara was about to kill the anti-skilled leader. Esther orders Hoto to intervene. With a powerful kick from Hoto, she stops Neru. Hoto unleashes her physical strength, which damages 10% of her body cells in exchange for 10 minutes of the body's upper limits of strength. With the armor, Neru was no match for Hoto at all. She then changed her target to Esther and used a mining drill to attack her. Hoto came to attack her master, using her body to shield Esther. A cold voice breaks the ice. Accelerator blows away Neru's drill with just a touch of his hand. The 4 Scavengers still refuse to give up and decide to use their ultimate combo attack. No one has ever escaped this Scavenger attack. They used Neru's paper powers to trap in Silent Iron Maiden, and finally comes the finishing move, which is the endothermic reaction. While the Scavengers not yet have this chance to enjoy their soon-to-be success, the Iron Maiden explode, who was also a first class and known as the Academy City's strongest legend. The leader of the Scavengers was scared to death. After witnessing the terrifying power of Accelerator, Esther was conquered by his power and even begged Accelerator to accept her as his disciple. But Accelerator doesn't want to be bothered and just walks away. However, Esther still follows him. But then from out of nowhere, 3 mechanical robots with power show up. Esther recognizes them as the forbidden weapons of the Rosenthal clan, Tao, Tai Chi, and Hundun. The other 3 evil spirits that have been cleansed over generations. The strength of these 3 robots are on the same level as that of Accelerator. Yes, they all possess level 5 abilities. And now they are being controlled by one of the DA former's investors, Hishigata. Hishigata kidnapped and retreated with the unconscious girl from before, who was a clone of Last Order. With her, he can finally complete his masterpiece, but Accelerator chases after them to the edge of the city, where Hishigata explains the Accelerator that these robots were especially built by him to counter Accelerator's abilities. He was just finished bragging when one of Hunden's legs was severed by Accelerator. To Accelerator, these robots were just trash. Hishigata wanted to test his robots on Accelerator, but a girl reminded him of their main goal. So Hunden, which was in possession of the clone, quickly withdrew. Hishigata's goal was to buy time by duplicating the memories of 10,000 deaths from Last Order's clone. Hishigata will be able to create the world's first level 6 entity. Accelerator still persistently chases after Hunden from night until morning. However, he still can't keep up with Hishigata's robot. In the end, Accelerator did manage to rescue Last Order's clone, but he was too late. Hishigata had already uploaded all of the data into the 3 robots, strengthening their powers even more. Now every time Accelerator was about to touch one of the 3 robots, he would be teleported to another place by the power of the Tao Ti. This teleportation ability doesn't seem to have any limits. At this point, Accelerator comes up with a plan to deal with Tao Ti by creating a tornado, picking up the sand around him, taking advantage of the friction of the sand, then releasing all the heat at once. The unbearable heat causes 2T's camera to be destroyed. Now it can't see anything. Its teleportation ability was disabled. With that handled, he easily took Chong-Chi as well. Meanwhile, in an underground base, Esther locates Hishigata. She tries to destroy Hishigata's sister, Hiromi, who was the one that's going to become the level 6 entity, but unfortunately the process was complete. The world's first level 6 Esper has been born. However, something was wrong. Hiromi identifies herself as the evil spirit of Tao Isaac. Esther recognizes the name Isaac as the name of the 4th generation patriarch of House Rosenthal. For 23 generations, the Rosenthal family had always wished that they could create a golem with a perfect body and soul, a being that rivaled even a god. Now the Rosenthal family's 400-year wish will come true. After being given all of the memories of 10,000 deaths, it's only a matter of time until Isaac reaches level 6, when Esther was about to be attacked. Accelerator once again appears and protected her. At the moment, Esther feels at fault because what Isaac told her, that she was the seed that caused all of his death and chaos. This causes her to lose the will to fight, but even if she can't fight anymore, Accelerator will still go and fight this monster on his own. After being ticked off by Isaac, Accelerator starts battling the monster before him, but Isaac has the ability to regenerate infinitely, not to waste any more time on Accelerator. Isaac retreats inside of his monstrous body and continues this process to evolve into a level 6 entity. Accelerator, along with Esther Hoto, Last Order's clone, and the heavily injured Hishigata enter Isaac's body to find and destroy Isaac. To speed up the process of evolving, Isaac devours the humans nearby. The moment finally arrives. Isaac has accumulated enough energy and the evolution was a success, but something was not complete. Isaac's body was still tied to this realm. To this robot, which was used to resurrect him into Hiromi. If they destroy this robot, then its powers will weaken dramatically. Esther takes that opportunity to approach Isaac. With Accelerator's help, Isaac was destroyed. However, his death also created a terrible explosion. It would be powerful enough to wipe out the entire city. At this moment, Accelerator came to meet the explosion at point blank. If he lets this explosion go off, then it would definitely reach Last Order. Using his full power and not holding back anything, he was able to divert the energy of the explosion into the sky and out to space. After the events of that day, Accelerator had returned to his lazy weeble life. And that does it for this anime recap. This was a cool and interesting anime series to watch. The story was written very well, the characters were great, and the animations was pretty good. This anime is just one perspective on the Index anime series, so there are plenty of other storylines to watch and enjoy. I hope you guys